Steven, I think we got a banger today. You ready?
Let's go.
So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. I'm one of your hosts of the show, Hayes, aka O Shifty, with the one, the only, the great Steven at Steven_Springs. Steven, for starters, how you been?
Good, man. A little bummed that the Lakers are out of the playoffs. A little bummed,
Yeah.
but I guess we turn our attention to the finals whenever that's supposed to happen. Do you think we'll get into this? I guess I was gonna say, do you
Yeah.
talk about the Eastern Conference Finals? Because I said the other day that I trusted the Lakers. If we were playing the long game and playing the
Mm-hmm.
hypothetical, which team do you trust more to win 4 straight games? I definitely said the Lakers over the Celtics. And then
Mm-hmm.
the Celtics went ahead and did what they did last
They
night. So
did
we'll talk about that.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, not much more sports. We're almost done with everything. Usually
Mm-hmm.
once the end of the school year's ending, that means sports are winding down.
Everything. Yep.
So the kids have like, I don't know, less than 20 days left probably of school.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
then
crazy. I
pool
know.
opens up. Yep, pool opens up this weekend in the neighborhood. And then yeah, summer's right there, dude. We're off and running. Well, for other humans, not people like us. Gotta
Yeah,
work
no, we still got to do the
at
same stuff every
365,
day.
bro.
Yeah.
I
They don't
wish
care
so,
about that.
right? I wish if I could get like a month off in the summer, that would be just
Man.
man, oh man. But
Oh my gosh.
at least give me that 4 day work week. At least give me that
See?
4 day work week, and I would put in way more work than I do now.
Oh, for
You
sure.
have a 4 day
Like
work
without
week. Like
question.
if they go, hey, you have to do 40 hours basically in 4 days. I'm like, fine, sign me up, bro.
Yeah, I would do
Sign me
it
up.
any
If
day.
that's what that meant, yeah, sign me up.
See, that's what I'm saying. But two things I want to dive into. The first thing is, so we have, for everyone that continues to follow like what happens in the NFT world, we have a big spaces that's coming up on Monday. Yes, Memorial Day, but the grind keeps going. We're gonna have Asset Dash, and the big thing I wanted to bring up, let's see if I can do this math really quick. So Acid Dash just minted out yeah, they minted out a collection. If I can find the right blockchain for it. But I'm gonna have them on the show on Monday. What is theirs? Because they have I think it's a 10,000 collection. But the other thing I wanted to bring up is for everyone out there that's wondering like what we've been doing. So we're doing a new segment. It's going to be called Hot Topic. And with that, it's going to be collective of various different topics that most times it'll probably be Penn State related. But today I have a good one. And I was listening to this coming back from DC. Before I get into that 10,000, I think I did that because I want to tell Steven what happened today. Yep, 55,000. And then do that by the cost of that. And Steven, my friend, so this collection that I'm going to have on the show, they essentially had a 10,000 collection size and they had it for a mint price of 5.5 Solana. You don't really need to know what that is. It's $20 per Solana. So essentially it's a little over $100 to purchase one of these asset dashes. And it's kind of a portfolio
How
service. It's $100 and it's NFT.
Okay.
So I said that because they minted out the whole collection. So they sold 10,000 of their NFTs in 30 minutes. And that comes out to 55,000 Solana, which when you do the math on that, that is $1 million, $1.07 million they minted out in 30 minutes. So I'm going to have them on the show on Monday. And that's like one of the first questions I'm going to ask. How in the hell did you end up coming up with $1 million? And they've done 30,000 Solana volume in like secondary price action, but I'll talk about that when I get into finance. The hot topic I wanted to bring up today is, and you know where I'm going to go with this when I start talking about it. So I mentioned before, I am athlete. And then of course, everyone knows about the pivot. Whenever you hear them doing their podcast, they never tell you truly what happened. They only give you like the surface level of what went down. And then I was listening to when they were on Funky Friday. For anyone that doesn't know, that's Cam Newton's show. And they were on that one. And Fred Taylor was kind of saying, without going too much into detail, it kind of dealt with the finances. That was kind of a big thing. And like, it wasn't split the whole way. But he said he didn't want to dive into all the details, but that was essentially what happened. My thing is, I really need to know what the hell went down as to why it was that way, because he said he doesn't want to dive in everything because he doesn't like to be messy and stuff. And then Shannon was saying the same thing, that they were like, we weren't really going to do another podcast till Ryan came along. He handles the business much differently, and like all the blood, sweat is equity as well. I really just want to know, and this is why this is a hot topic. I need to know what went on, because they've done so many of these. Both sides have done it, but nobody said really what happened.
So the guy, Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark, and Fred Taylor, obviously talking about the pivot. They went off and kept that and did their thing. And they had an episode. I don't remember how long ago, like 6 months to a year, because it was pretty recent that all went down, right? Like within the last year.
It was like end of COVID.
Yeah. I think it was before then. I think it was like pretty recent. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So they had an interview. I mean, they talked about it, and like they didn't talk about it.
You see, exactly.
Like, I forget the title of like the episode, like on YouTube. First of all, so you want to hear a kid thing? So my kids somehow got stopwatches. I think they got them for like Christmas and like their stocking, whatever. I guess my wife put that in there. And they, they mess with them and whatnot. And Mason wanted to take one to school the other day, and I said no. And I made him put it down right outside my office. And he somehow, some way, this kid set a timer on the stopwatch. It's going off right now. And when I'm done telling you this, I'm going to go out and turn it off, because I can't listen to that for the next half hour. So I'm going to be right back. Go turn that fucking thing off, and it's because it's not going to go. But I don't know what button to press. So this happens every time. Like I press the button, and it's just like the snooze button, basically.
So it's going to go back off again.
No, we're good. It went off.
Oh,
it stopped. Okay, cool.
So Steven was talking. We were talking about the show, and for context, it aired January 4th, 2022.
The episode I'm talking about?
No, that was the premiere.
Okay. So the episode I'm talking about is those three guys they were supposed to talk about it. Like the title of the episode on YouTube was like, they talk about they talk about it, but they never talked about it. They never talked about it. It was like a 45-minute thing. Never said a word about it. I'm like, what? I just wasted 45 minutes listening to nothing.
Yes,
a whole lot of nothing, and it's so annoying. It has to be something with Brendan Marshall, right? Like, has to be.
It is. So
like,
what's crazy
is I guarantee he wanted like astronomical amounts more than they did.
Yeah. So the crazy part is, because I was listening to them when they were on Cam's show, and they were saying Reggie Wayne was a part of it, but then Reggie Wayne said, "Nah, I have to end up like getting out of this." So he did. Then they said Ocho Cinco didn't really care about that part. Ocho Cinco is going to be Ocho Cinco. But I really just thought that was fascinating, because nobody really knows truly what happened. But also, I Am Athlete was COVID. Like, that was legit what people were listening to during COVID. Anybody who was anyone went on I Am Athlete. Then when that shit broke up, you almost thought it was like the Jackson 5 or like Migos or anyone of that nature, just like breaking up. So I wanted to touch on that really quick, but then I wanted to start diving into some of the finance stuff, because there was various different things. The first one that I want to touch on, and it'll hit home with Steven as well. So Walmart is getting into like the pet telehealth industry. Reason why they're getting into that, because Amazon's in there, and they're continuing just to find a way to compete with Amazon. But you're almost at the point of, you can't continue to compete with Amazon with everything or anything, because they're in so many different industries. Then you have Apple on the other side. Apple's in like the banking. So those are really going to be like the three goats of this world. And you have to figure out which one you're going to get into. But they have so much money and capital that you can't keep doing what they're doing for as long as they're doing. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing is, so I didn't know how many championship rings in various different sports Stan Kroenke, or Cranky, what's his last name? Kroenke, yeah, has won. But I was looking, I think it was Front Office Sports. There's someone I look at a lot online. They have won. He has won a lot, or like his group. Because at first I thought it was just the Rams. No, that's kind of just the start of the shit. And then they have him in, I think it was maybe the WNBA as well. It was like a lot of different sports that it really shocked me with that. But I just wanted to mention that, because a lot of times we think of Josh Harris, who's about to, there's a fight in hockey, but that's normal. But we think of it in sports as the owners only have one team, but Josh Harris is about to own another. Stan Kroenke has a good amount. And then segueing that into the next aspect of finance, if you were watching the game yesterday, you saw Steph Curry. And in Steph Curry, the background, you saw two things. You saw his kid, and then you saw his liquor. And so I didn't realize how many, his liquor, for anyone out there that's wondering, it's called Gentleman's Cut Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. That is not sponsored. That's just something I saw in the background. But there's a shit ton of athletes that have liquors and wines that are out there.
A lot
and
of
it's
wine.
almost
A lot of
a
wine.
lot of
A
wine.
lot of wine.
Because like Carmelo Anthony has one called Seventh Estate. CJ McCollum has one called.
Real quick, before I forget, Drew Bledsoe, former Patriots quarterback, has his own winery out in California somewhere. Like a giant. They did a 30 for 30 or an E60 something with him a handful of years back, relatively recent actually. And then they talked about his, obviously post NFL career, and he has his whole winery. Obviously bottles. Huh?
Double-back winery.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, like good for him. Like, but wine's a big thing.
It is.
I think maybe because I feel like they know, like, guys didn't really know where else to go because they weren't going to do like, beer or like liquor. They wanted to go to something like that most people would probably go for both. Like I drink wine. I don't know. I know you do. That fucking picture.
Bro, like it just goes on.
Look how, first of all, look how big that bottle of wine is for Yao Ming.
I know exactly.
This shit is damn near the size of him.
And then like you just have the list goes on, and some of these relationships you would have never thought of. You have Kevin Love and Channing Frye. Yeah. Then you have just going down. Of course, Travis Kelce has one.
What is that? What does Kelce have?
It's Casa Azul Spirits. I don't know.
Look at these pictures. These guys are bozos.
You got like Chipper Jones has one. Mike Piazza has one. And then I'm also thinking, is there enough goddamn money in this world for all these different athletes to profit, or do they just have one? Like, of course, Arnold Palmer has something.
Those Arnold Palmers are amazing.
So, yes. And then it keeps going. Jack Nicklaus has his.
There's no way all these wines taste different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just talking about the wines. But look at all these. The Rock has the he has the highest like roasting.
Oh, that's his?
Something.
Because I've had the Rocks. I didn't even know that was his. Yeah, but some people say it's not that good.
Dude, I'm not drinking tequila though. No thanks. I don't care if it is the Rock. I don't care if it is the homie. Not doing it. Shout out to the Rock though.
Yeah, then you have like John Cena, and so yeah, just wanted to bring that up, and of course you see the last one. But that was the other thing I wanted to just bring up over there. Some things I just want to make an announcement of on like the crypto NFT side. The first thing is, so D-Gods and Frank announced by the end of Q2 that they were going to be releasing season 3 of the D-Gods. End of Q2 means end of June. So pay attention to what's going to happen there. The other one is tomorrow there's a person called BitGod, and he's been big on the Bitcoin side. He's supposed to be releasing deploying his cryptocurrency, a BRC20. It's going to be called OXBT. That's a huge one that a lot of people have been talking about. Stephen, wild thing is, in 2 weeks, this man went from having 1,000 followers to over like 120,000 followers.
Jeez, dude,
it's the most insane thing. And that's how a lot of people know, this shit's about to blow up when he drops it, because it was so fast. Then he got all these followers, and I've seen the climb of it. I didn't think it was going to be that big, but other part of all this is a lot of people have been starting to pay attention to what's happened on Bitcoin, because everyone knows what Bitcoin is. Sorry, my fault. He has 123,000 followers, and he started this account like 2-3 weeks ago when he started doing a lot with it. Other things are, pay attention to what happens on Sui Network and then Polygon. Nothing's really been happening on Sui, but you're seeing a lot of unorganic volume that's over there. I remember Fuddy's was at like 90 Sui, and then it ran up to 140 Sui, like randomly. And then another funny thing is, so China started talking about different things when it comes to cryptocurrency. They had something random called like Samo, and they had a coin and NFT. As soon as it hit like on a Chinese network, the NFT like shot up by like $100. Nobody knows why or how, but as soon as people saw it, they ended up seeing that happen. My last thing I want to just touch on with the finance side, because I have a lot of things I want to talk about within the sports side. It's going to be a 3-segment thing. The first one, I have to give a shout out to Grim Gambles. So I've been like talking to him. It's a sports betting thing. I've been talking to him for a minute. Like I see a lot of his calls. Like I'm in one of his groups, and not once but twice, or they do $100,000 challenge in 3 days. I just do $50 and see if I can do the same thing. So I turned $50 to $656 in 3 days twice. I thought I was hyped for doing that. He's done it like 3 times. After the first time, I was like, all right, I got to get on board. Second thing I wanted to bring up is I didn't realize how much expansion fees are when it comes to sports. And I didn't understand that there are expansion fees. So I'm saying this because soccer. San Diego is about to get a soccer team. They're going to be either called FC San Diego or San Diego FC. Yeah, I know. And the expansion fee is going to be $500 million. They said that that's going to be the most expensive expansion fee. I guess I don't know, either the city, the owners, a lot of different people. You know, they take out loans for this shit too, and then they just pay it back. But the wild part about that is they're going to be the only one that doesn't have really their own stadium. They're going to be sharing a stadium with San Diego State University, and they're doing construction on San Diego State University's soccer field that's going to be $310 million. So shit is crazy that they're going to end up having construction for that. In total, this is all going to be like $810 million. And they're saying this is going to be the highest valuation for a soccer team, because you have to think, if the expansion fee is going to be $500 million, the team's going to have to be valued at more than that. And they're saying that they're already valued at more than a good amount of different Premier League and La Liga teams that are out there. I know one that they brought up was Sevilla. And then they also brought up like Aston Villa. So it was various different ones. And I'm just like, the fact that this early and this soon, they're going to be worth that much. MLS better blow up at the rate that they're paying all these different fees. Like I know they're doing a tour as well with a good amount of different Premier League teams. So we'll see how that ends up happening. What?
It's not going to.
I don't think it is. We've seen it around for so long. Apple even put like a big bet on them for it too.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Their only way.
No, just don't, like, no one cares though. Like, you know,
not enough.
Like I don't want to say people don't care about soccer, because obviously they do, or else they wouldn't have teams in the U.S. Duh. But like what are you trying to compete with? If you're soccer, what's the sport you're trying to compete with to try and get like those ratings? Like the WNBA maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, yeah, I mean, you're obviously not competing with NBA or MLB, NHL, the NFL, right? Like, so that's a different category. Like, what else are you trying to compete with? Like, when is their season? Like, when is the MLS season? Didn't it just finish a couple months ago?
No, it's still going on right now.
I mean, so like, see, there you go. I just made my own point. I don't even know. And like, I also didn't know till the other day that the WNBA season just started. Dude, you're starting your season during the conference finals? No one's going to watch these games, bro.
So the two things, because Steven just brought them up. The first one is the MLS season goes from February to October 21st. The WNBA season, which I always forget their season.
February?
February.
What season is this? The MLS season?
Yep.
It goes from February to October? Really? How many games do they play?
That's a good question.
That's a long term.
I think I looked it up. I don't know why I thought like 34.
Wait, so hang on. Wait a second.
17 home, 17 away.
The MLS season starts in February.
Yeah.
Second month of the year, and goes until October.
Yes.
And they only play 34 games?
I guess there's random breaks in there sometimes. I don't know. But I also think that they only play 1 or 2 games a week.
See, like, that's just some shit right there. That's just some shit. Like, why? Why do that? Why not put it like summer? Because like you're only competing with baseball. Mm-hmm. Like once the NBA season's over, dude, people are like they're barely watching baseball, right? No one gives a shit about baseball really until from like now until like the fall, basically. Like
Mhm.
the beginning of the season's cool, but like the summer, people on vacation and shit. Like soccer's just it's so tough, dude, because like you don't know any of like the big names in the US. Like you do like I could definitely name more WNBA players than MLS players,
Yeah.
right? Like for sure. So that's like it's just tough with soccer because like no one in the US really gives a shit. I'm
No.
sorry to soccer, shout out to soccer, but like
Shout out. Not here. Overseas, yes.
yeah,
They love that.
yeah,
And
well,
same
duh.
thing with like F1.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
another one that I didn't realize how big F1 is in
huge, dude,
Europe. It is
huge.
dumb
The
big.
Monaco Grand Prix is coming up.
Yes.
Dude, like that is a big deal because it's like right on the
Hmm.
water, right on like the ocean, like whatever body of water that is. It looks
Hmm.
amazing. But you have all these like mega yachts come in, and it's just a giant party for like days. All
That's
these
really
rich
what
ass
it
people
is.
just bringing all their money in, just partying for days, dude, days. That seems like a bucket list thing. If you're even if you're not into it, it seems like a bucket list thing.
Yeah. So they I was trying to see like
What are you
what
looking
body
up?
of water it is
Mm.
that it's near. Because it is like right off the damn, they don't really show it. I mean they show it, but they don't know what it's called. But yeah, I can see it. Like if I showed you guys, I could see exactly where. I don't even know what country is that in.
Just relax.
I
It
know they
is
call it like Monte Carlo. Is it Monaco? Is that even a country?
where are we? Are you looking at a map?
I was looking at a map, but this map is terrible.
um honestly, I have no idea.
Okay,
It's
but
on the other side of a body of water from I can't even pronounce the body of water. Never mind. Wow. Look at us. This is embarrassing, dude. This is absolutely
okay.
embarrassing.
Is it the Mediterranean Sea? I think that's what
No.
it is. No, it's I see what it is. The Baltic. Is that
What?
it?
What map are you on, dude?
Is it the it's the Balearic Sea.
Oh, it's south of Switzerland.
Never mind. I found
It's not,
Monaco.
but that's not the same thing as like me saying like, oh, I live south of Baltimore. That's not the same thing. It's
Hold on.
near it's on the other side of this body of water from Italy. For those, you know,
France.
what?
We did all that and it's
Okay, all right. You know what? Let's just move on. Okay,
oh, no,
let's move on.
it's France.
Let's just move on, dude.
So
I don't think you're looking at the same thing that I'm looking at right now. I will guarantee you that. You know what?
it's a
You know what?
microscape
Let me
on
share
the
my screen.
French
Let me share my
Riviera.
screen. Let me share my screen. Give me the screen right now. Let me see this right now. Where can I share this? All right. No, I just Googled. I can't share. Wait, what's going on? It said you
It
disabled
should
my
be.
screen screen. My screen.
You're the host.
All right, let me try this. There we
Or
go.
is it?
Okay. All right. Can you see my screen? We're right here. I just Googled.
Oh, Monaco is its
The
own place.
no.
Yeah.
So I just Googled Monaco Grand Prix 2023, and it just said here's the track.
Hmm.
So I clicked on it, and then boom, like that's where
That's what
it's
I
at.
saw too.
Right. So then I went to maps, like a normal person, and then I saw this on the map. This is like where it brought me, and I'm like, I don't know where this is at all, in any like I don't know where I'm at. So I had to zoom out, kept zooming. I don't know where like nice. What the fuck is that, dude? What is that? I recognize none of these names of these countries. Do you recognize any of these names? I don't
No,
recognize any of these names, and I kept scrolling and growing like that. That was the next big one that popped out. I don't know what that is. No clue. This
no.
this is like the body of water. I can't pronounce that. Can't pronounce that. I keep going. Oh, there we go. Italy. Look, that's like the closest. Well, not really, because I think Switzerland's up here. But like, is Italy closer than Switzerland? Sure seems
This
like
man
it.
said it's south of Switzerland.
Yeah, it is south of Switzerland. But again, it's not like saying I live south of Baltimore. Not the same thing. So like, here
No.
it is. Here it is on a larger scale. So
What's
there you go.
crazy is there's like, I don't know, and they don't do this over here, but we were looking at the same exact body of water, but they have like 4 or 5 different names depending on where you are
Dude,
in that body of water.
that was tough. What we
It
just
was,
did, that was tough.
no.
Like that was pretty painful to go through.
But in conclusion, Monaco is its own sovereign little mini state, microstate. That's what they call it. But we'll move on to the next thing because I wanted to talk about the Florida Panthers. What's wild is they could have done something that hasn't happened in like eons and decades and years and centuries if the Heat did what they were supposed to do yesterday. The Panthers are currently winning 2-1 at the end of the first period. It's weird how they just are called periods because they don't want to say thirds, but they finished the first one. They're up 2-1.
Just call it quarters. Like
quarters are 4.
I know, but like just call it just call it what it is.
Yeah, something. And then the Heat messed it up. So it looks like the Panthers could end up moving on. And these are both 8 seeds because the Panthers played the Boston Bruins. I can probably guarantee you it hasn't happened ever that 2 8 seeds from the same state, from the same damn area, both are going to proceed to the finals.
Dude, I bet hockey fans are pissed that the Florida Panthers can make the same.
You know they wanted Canada. They wanted Canada or the New England area. They did not want
any state other than Florida.
Florida to make it shit. And then for them to be balling the way they are, nobody expected that.
Yes, they are.
The other thing I wanted to bring up before we go into the NBA aspect, do you know who Seth Towns is?
Seth Towns?
Yes.
No. Is that Carl Towns' brother?
Nope. He might be as old as.
Should I know who he is?
You might not. I bring this up because Seth Towns is about to take up his 8th year of playing college basketball.
I just saw that yesterday somehow.
Yep.
Where is he playing at?
He's going to play at Howard. So there's a lot of people out there that are like, why is he going to Harvard? Like why is he getting a degree there? No, there's 2 different things. He was at Harvard. Now he's at Howard, and he was at Ohio State. And the craziest part is
that's the only reason why I'm ever seeing, because he had an Ohio State jersey on in the picture I saw.
Yes. Yep. The wild part about this is he still has 2 more years of eligibility after this.
Bro,
so he could keep playing
even possible
if he wants to. And they were saying like half of the players, they were naming players that he came out with. And when you did the math on it, he's not cheating the system. He legit had like the COVID year that he elected not to do. He got injured 2-3 times. So I don't know how good of a player he is if he's been there for 8 years. But they said my man can get his undergrad for free, his master's for free.
Shit, yeah, dude. Keep rocking it.
All the free education in the world.
Keep balling, bro. Keep balling.
Yeah, and they also said if LeBron wanted to, LeBron could do the same thing because LeBron never went to college.
Imagine that.
Could you imagine?
That.
Now I want to switch over because we talked about LeBron and talk about your thoughts on the sweep that happened.
Oh, dude. I think ultimately the Nuggets are just a better team. Now, of course,
that team is stacked.
They are. They're really good. Now, of course, I said the Lakers would win. Now, that's me being a LeBron guy, or did I say, I thought they could win. I thought going into the series, I thought 2 things could be true though. I thought going into the series that LeBron and AD were going to be better than Jokic and Murray, which at times they were, but more times than not, Jokic and Murray, Jokic was better. And then I also thought that the Nuggets, other guys, the Bruce Browns, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, would be better than the Lakers' other guys. And at times, the Lakers guys, again, like AD and LeBron, were better than the other guys. But more times than not, you saw KCP, Jeff Green, shout out to Jeff Green, all those guys making timely shots. Like they weren't like, Jeff Green probably never had more than 6 or 7 points in the game, right?
Nope.
But like those were big 6 or 7 points. And game 3, I think it was, when Lakers had a chance to win. They were down 1 or up 1 in the 4th, and then the Nuggets, and then Lakers had back-to-back turnovers. Nuggets got 2 threes off of that, and that was it. And then they went on that 13-0 run. But those 2 turnovers, just like stupid shit like that. That foul, that Rui had on that 3. On Jokic, and Jokic made all 3. And then there was another foul on a 3-pointer that AD had, I think, on Jamal Murray. That's 6 points.
Yes.
That's 6 points. Like, and they lost by 2. Like, that's 6 points that you give up like that on stupid shit. But the Nuggets, and that's, I'm not gonna take away from what the Nuggets did, obviously. Like, they were the better team. And the Lakers also couldn't get stops when they needed it. But the Nuggets got baskets when they needed it, and like it wasn't like the Nuggets were like infinitely better than the Lakers. They were close games for the most part. And Jamal Murray had 30-point first half. Like that's even if they hold him to like 20 points, that's they were only down by 3 at halftime. But I will say, and it's probably because they lost, but like LeBron played the entire first half, bro.
He did.
Dropped
He had
31.
to.
He had 31 points in 23 minutes and 7 seconds. That's like that at 38 years old, for as many miles as he has on his leg.
Should not be
that
doing
is
that.
Unbelievable. When I like, there was 7 minutes left in the first half, and I'm like, he's playing the whole. I tweeted out, I'm like, he's playing the whole first half. That's not going to be good for the Lakers in the second half.
Yeah,
and then they just he just stopped touching the ball in the third quarter. What was going on? They were running the offense through Dennis Schroeder. Why? Like, and AD never touched the ball. AD had a good series, but he needed to have a great series. He needed to be better than Jamal Murray was, and he wasn't. Now his numbers look good. He averaged 26 and 14 and 3 blocks, which is awesome, but he probably need to kick that to like 30, 32. You need to go like full Shaq mode. They need to go Shaq and Kobe basically.
Yeah.
And like I said, biggest thing was Lakers couldn't get stops, and the Nuggets made them pay. So, and Jokic is having just a fucking unbelievable playoff run right now. Unbelievable. When
it just shows
you pass Wilt in anything, you're doing something right. And he passing for most triple doubles in the playoff run. He's averaging like 31, 14, and 10. It's crazy, insane numbers. And LeBron averaged, I think, 20, 28, 10, and 9. So he was right there for 38. But did you see what he said after the game? Talking about, he's got a lot to think about. He doesn't know if he's, the whole retirement thing. First of all, he's not going to retire. He's not going to retire. And his contract.
They were saying it was a tactic for bringing players or something of that nature.
Well, it also changes the narrative of not talking about them getting swept to him, retiring and what they're going to do in the offseason. And no one's talking about the Nuggets either.
Nobody, no.
I mean, LeBron was asked the question, like, he could have said no comment, but like, it's just like that, dude. Just like that. The whole narrative has changed. People just instantly forgot about them getting swept. And his contract, he's going to get a 2-year extension. Just coincidentally, right when Bronny's coming in, Lakers will trade for him. And by the way, I hear this all the time now about the Lakers trading AD. No, do not trade Anthony Davis. Like, do not.
They ain't got no picks. I don't even know what the Lakers are going to do.
Do not trade Anthony Davis. Like, I know he's been hurt. I know he's like, it's not inconsistent. He's inconsistent with he should be arguably the best player in the league. Like, he has that ability to be that better than Giannis, better than Jokic, because he does it at like the highest level on both ends of the floor. He averaged like 5 blocks, like 5 blocks during like the Memphis series or whatever it was, like fucking killing it, dude. But he's like, would you like want to give up? Tim Legler said, would you give up like maybe like 50 games to that, and like you're not sure where you can get in the postseason? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. AD won them a title. Like,
he did. When 80's on.
Yes, and I know he's injured, but you can't do it. Like, the injuries are just like, that's just part of the game, dude. Like, injuries, it's not like he's going out there like, all right, 26th game of the season, all right, third quarter, ankle's gonna roll. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No.
It's gonna happen.
Like, yeah, you just gotta live with that. But like the benefit is when he's healthy, and he's on, he's arguably the best player on the floor. So I would not trade Anthony Davis. They're going to sign Austin Reeves, re-sign Austin Reeves. I think they will.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll probably try and bring in a point guard, like a good point guard. I think they need to get a little more size because they got out-rebounded by a ton against the Nuggets. A ton. I know Jokic had a lot of those, but like Michael Porter Jr. was getting those. Aaron Gordon was getting some. First of all, Aaron Gordon, I said this last week, Aaron Gordon looks like the guy who comes to the like Lifetime Fitness and thinks he could have played ball at the professional level.
Yeah,
he dresses like that guy with the armbands, the leg sleeves. Kills me. But I think the Lakers need to get some more size. They need to get maybe like a true point guard. I saw the what's his name? Dude from the Hawks, Trae Young rumors.
Oh yeah.
Kyrie obviously is going to come up and question. Your camera right now is blurry as hell.
Really?
You look like a cartoon.
That's crazy.
But anyway, what do you think of the series? I mean, they got swept. I don't really know
What the
what else.
hell? Yo, the Hurricanes tied it up. Damn. And I really needed the Panthers to clean sweep this. The Nuggets are loaded. I haven't seen a team this solid from point guard to center in a minute. I'm not classifying the Bucks as that. When the Warriors won, they were not loaded like this. They had
No,
three solid players. Not even like the Lakers team was that loaded. When you could tell me your point guard is a stud, an all-star, I'm considering Jamal Murray. Your shooting guard has ring experience, championship experience. Then you have your small forward and power forward. Either one can go off on any given day, and then they can end up guarding the best if they need to. Then your center is arguably the best player in the world.
dude, he's a fucking
Like,
beast. It's
what do you
unbelievable.
do? So they were saying there's only one team that will give concern to the Heat. And I talked to a lot of my friends that are Heat fans. They're like, we want the Nuggets, but that is our toughest test. The Nuggets, bro, you're putting Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter Jr. on
Dude,
Jimmy Butler.
I don't know who's gonna guard Jokic on the Heat. Like, I love Bam. I don't know who else I can throw at him. Like, you can put Jimmy Butler on him. Like, the Lakers had LeBron guarding him from time to time, but like, you're not gonna spend all the energy for Jimmy Butler to try and stop that. You kind of just gotta slow him down, which is like almost impossible to do. Even like a bad game from him, he's like putting up like 22, 10, and 10. So he's dishing out like minimum like 40 points right there. Like, so there you go.
There's nothing that can really,
so good, dude.
And this year he didn't win the MVP, and I honestly think he didn't win the MVP because of playoff reasons. Although you're not supposed to go on that, they're probably like, oh well, he hasn't done anything to like warrant the third MVP. He doesn't have a ring. So if he wins it this year, you're gonna give him an MVP next year?
Right.
Like, what do you do?
He might,
because he's good. Dog, that team is good. And if they won, then they were also saying, which jersey do you retire? Anthony's or Jokic? Then they were saying, why the hell is this not even like off limits to start with? So
go on. Now keep on.
So yeah, that's kind of like the big thing that I'm trying to figure out. What do you do in terms of whose jerseys are you retiring there? You got to retire Jokic's jersey. But then also with that, it's just insane how good this team is. And they are cruising past teams. And they didn't have an easy road. Like you played the Timberwolves, solid. Then you had the Suns, solid. The Lakers, solid. Then you're gonna have to play the Heat, solid. Like that was not easy.
That's a lot of teams.
Yes, with Hall of Famers on these teams.
Yeah. And like that's just how good Jokic is playing right now. I know the other guys are doing their thing, but like that's just how good he is playing right now. And I don't think any, even if the Celtics get through the Heat, I don't think any team in the East is gonna match up with them.
No. So that's my honest thoughts over there. I want to talk about two baseball things before we end up getting into everything else. So the first one is I got to give props out to Steven's hometown team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are above 500. This is a big thing.
Boys.
Like whenever I do bets, sometimes you can't really just bet against the other team. Like they might honestly win. There's only one team in the league where I am max betting every single time they play them. And that's the Athletics. That team
it's bad, dude. I can't even, I don't even want to talk about that. It's so bad.
No, and and I don't even know if they're moving them to Las Vegas, but I think they're moving them to Las Vegas because people will be drunk going to the game and they won't realize what they're watching.
Yeah, no one's
and it's not the same. It's not necessarily going to be fans of the Athletics. It's going to be fans of whenever you're in Vegas, you can just go see a baseball game.
It's gonna be something to do.
Yeah, because the Athletics are not good at all. Like that team, I don't know where to even start. Like, where do you even start with this? As the reason. Other thing I wanted to bring up, and this goes into my question I'm going to have for you. So Will Brennan, I don't know if you saw it. He basically killed a bird, and he killed a bird by like he hit a grounder, and the bird just didn't react, and the bird got hit. Then they had to stop the game to like have the grounds crew end up like cleaning up the bird. But that goes into my question for you. What is the craziest, like, you can't make this shit up incident that you've ever seen in sports? It could be any sport.
Incident. Do you have one handy?
Hell yeah.
All right, go for it.
I was like, yo, so Will Brennan's was cool and all, but I ain't never seen some shit like Randy Johnson. I have
Oh,
never seen that
yeah,
before.
yeah,
The bird popped. Like this bird, you hit it and it just fell
yeah,
over. But
yeah.
the bird popped.
No, he
And both of them, like, you can't make, how does it happen at that exact moment? Like, you could
yeah,
have grazed the bird. No, you hit the bird.
yeah. It has to be. Yeah, that has to be the exact like right second, dude.
Yep.
And he threw a fucking dart.
You did.
That shit was going 100 miles an hour. That bird had no shot.
None.
No shot. That bird
None.
flew into 1,000 pieces.
Like, what do the birds tell their friends? Yeah, James flew on the field and James
Like,
went pop.
done, dude.
Like, no more James. So, what would you say? Or what's something random you've seen? I know you're the king of this is a player that I've seen that did immaculate shit, but what is some random moment that you've ever seen? Because we've seen like random black cats and different things like that.
Oh man, that's tough.
If you can't
The
think about it, I have a what you got.
so I'll say a game, like a
Okay.
game that I couldn't make, like it's not gonna happen again. Like it's just so random. Penn State lost 6-4 to Iowa like 20 years ago. 6 to
Mm-hmm.
4. I remember seeing a 1 point play in the NFL live. Do you know how that is? A 1 point play? Did you know that's the
Safeties and
thing?
field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get a safety and a field goal or a
Mm-hmm.
PAT, something like that, 1 point play.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't know that until it happened. So the bird thing is pretty crazy. I always enjoy when like golf spectators get hit with balls. I think that's
yeah.
always
I
fun.
know. Yeah.
That shit's like
Oh my
that.
god.
That's like again, like you have to hit in the exact. I mean, if it's like a large crowd, obviously it's different. But like you hit like that one person that's
Yeah.
like by themselves, just sitting on a chair, just douche right into them. The bird thing's always going to be like, I mean, that's always going to be around forever.
Mm-hmm. So what you got? Yeah, I'll let you start.
No, you go first. You
Okay.
start.
So I'm gonna do a roundup really quick, and then I'll go into my 2/3 because I had a weekend, like a weekend of
I
the
had a
weekends.
weekend. My God.
So congrats goes out to National Treasure who won the Preakness.
Shout out.
Mage who won the Kentucky Derby actually finished in third, and then Blazing Sevens was the runner up with that one. So then going into the things that happened. So my weekend consisted of a shit ton of stuff. Friday, we went out for my friend's birthday, so we went to the casino.
Shout
I have
out.
never had a day like that before. And normally people always think I'm joking when I say, yo, my life can be a movie. This night, so we started off at this random ass bar, like never heard of it. And my two friends were like, yeah, we ordered food. So we're gonna end up just like waiting here and then we'll go to the casino. Bro, in the middle of us waiting for the food, the two cooks were pissed and hype about something. They fought. So they went outside.
Two cooks did? Damn, bro. Damn.
Cooks,
You know how pissed
one of
I'd
the
be?
cooks.
I'd be heated if that happened if I was at dinner. If it's like
So
Olive Garden or some shit, it's different. But if I'm at like a nice restaurant for something like that, and I see the two cooks fighting, and I haven't gotten my meal yet, yo, I am hopping back there and making something,
So
grilled
the
cheese or
two
something.
cooks, one of the cook was like, "Nah, let's go up here." The other one said, "No, we taking this shit outside." And I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, it's a respectful fight." They went outside. Only one cook came back inside, and he was heated. And then he looked at my friends. He was like, "Nah, I got to go make this goddamn food." So he walked in the back, made the food, brought it out. Then after that, the other dude came inside. Clearly, he must have had to take a lap or something like that. And then they kicked the dude out, the cook that won the fight. They made him go home. Let the other cook stay. While all this is happening, the bartender is hitting a pen that this girl gave him. So,
Yeah. Where were
so,
you at?
so, and most people would think, oh, that's the end of your night.
Nope.
Then we go to the casino. So at the casino, I was mad but happy because I was like, you know what, whatever. I had $50, turned it into $300, then ended up being stupid. Then it dropped to 100. So I still made money. Cool. So I was walking with my friend John, and we all had split up. It was like 5 of us. We split up. We're in like P4. I've heard the rumors and stories of this shit happening, but I've never heard it happening because they were saying, yo, Allen Iverson's here. So me and my friend Marcus were like, we're going to find Allen Iverson. There was no Allen Iverson. But
Yeah.
when we went to P4, we were walking out and this dude comes up to us. He said, hey, excuse me, like I need some. I wanted to know if you can give me some money. My name is Delonte West. I used to play for the Boston Celtics, and we were like, no goddamn way. Like it was him. It was genuinely Delonte West
Well, asking you for
asking for
money?
money.
Wait,
Yes, Delonte West,
hold up.
and he, yeah. And so he was asking us for money because him and two of his friends just got kicked out of a homeless shelter. It was the wildest thing ever. And he said we could like
You texted me about that.
I did, I know.
But it was at 1:20 in the morning on
Exactly.
Saturday.
Yes,
So
that's when
that's
I
why I
saw
didn't
it.
respond. And then the next thing you sent me was some shit about Billie Jean King, and that fucking threw me off too. So the whole Delonte West thing was out the window when I saw Billie Jean King pop up on my phone. I
Oh,
was so
because that's gonna be
confused.
my last one. So yeah, that happened, and I was like, "Yo, what is this shit about Delonte West? There's no way." Then I texted Steven because it really makes me upset sometimes with certain sports when they try and hype up certain people as celebrities. And I had this discussion. I was listening to this podcast, and they were considering like these different athletes that are at WNBA game as like celebrities. Like they consider Dawn Staley because she was at the game. I'm like, stop doing that. Like you're just doing this because whenever you're at the Staples Center or the Crypto.com arena, you can classify these people as celebrities. But going into my last one, I'm really pissed that DeMar Hamlin is on the field. I'm just gonna leave it at that. He should not be back on that field at all. If that was my son, I'd be like, I'll pay you just to not be on that field.
Yeah,
Do not get back on that field.
Facts.
So that's all I got.
Let's see. Shout to my boy David.
Shout
He
out.
is a degenerate gambler. He texted me
Dang.
today, and he has free box seats at the O's game on Friday night,
Wow.
courtesy of Bet MGM. So free food, free drinks, all that kind of good stuff. Your boy doesn't drink, but I'm gonna enjoy that free food. The O's game, and not obviously not even watch the game. Chilling with the homies, the bet. Shout out to Bet MGM. They hooking up the homies, and that's what I'll be at on Friday night.
Yo, that's a good game. They play the Rangers.
Yeah,
the Rangers are doing
good.
Pretty good.
Right.
They're above 500. Yep. That's what happens nowadays.
I'll be there. Yep. So shout out to the homies.
The Orioles are 31-6 and 17. They are losing right now as well to the Yankees. But yeah, that's a solid game to end up going to see.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, so and I remember Steve and I used to talk about this stuff. There were years where you didn't ever bring up the Orioles.
Nope.
The Rangers are 31-18. So that's a solid game to go see.
There you go.
And the Panthers just scored. So we are back in business. But other than that, I hope Steven has a good time at the game because that's going to be a good one. Let me know how Camden Yards is one of the few stadiums, arenas, baseball places that they kept the same name. But until next time, we out.
Peace.